Hello, and welcome to Cricket, Jay's really peculiar game. And extra special thanks goes out to PM Studios for the key. I'm bringing you this, voice-broken spirits, not the highest. But pleasantries out of the way, I have trouble truly recommending this game, at least its current state, 2 days after release. An RPG this may be, but is the role actually worth playing? I'm speaking to you, sick, my voice drained by a flu, and even so the game's unique nature spurred me to create something, even if it isn't the most positive. In trying to be unique, they both succeed and failed. To shirk the path we'll tread does not always offer the better route. The amount of lessons spurned here just left me stunned for a time. Main menu? Who needs one? Settings? For shame. Player's first view of a game should be a positive one, their first impression. You want them to feel freedom. Freedom to adjust the volume. Freedom to do something. Not just a restrictive quagmire. The game starts and immediately you're faced with the instruction to press any key. And I know it's an old joke, but for once, I couldn't find the any key. At least not at first, because it doesn't want just any key. It seems to be quite specific. I believe Z, enter, and possibly spacebar work. Perhaps more I just didn't find. And that's about it. I'm sure there must have been more, but it felt weirdly unresponsive for such a simple instruction. I say it's not just as a content creator, but as an amateur game dev. The game we made for a jam had a main menu. It was simple, but it was there. These guys had years and years and plenty of resources. My team had coffee, Red Bull, and tacos. All this, and we haven't even begun to talk about the game itself. So, finally, you get to actually begin the game, and you get to a cutscene. Volume still at max. You can skip it, but it's important to the story. And as bittersweet as the story is, I suppose it's the one redeeming quality I was able to experience in the amount I was able to play. Though you endure against perhaps better judgment, against perhaps better reason, you endure. You continue on. And what greets you next? Why, yes, your sprite. It's locked halfway through a step. Motionless, floating there. It's not like he doesn't have an idle pose. He might not be very animated, but he does have some sort of idle. They just don't use it here. They say a portrait paints 1,000 words, but are these the words one wants to read? You experiment, you press buttons, you finally move, and there's no menu yet. Nothing will open it at this point in the game. Clearly, adjusting anything now would be taboo. No, you need a few more conversations first. And maybe a forced tutorial, why not? As much as I love a chance to add a Zoidberg quote, it doesn't undo how frustrating this feels. So you ram into a fridge. I know that sounds like a non sequitur, but that is really the tutorial. Clearly, the best way to get some cookies. A tin of Royal Dansk. Though for a brief moment I mistook them for McVitie's. Clearly a silly mistake on my part. Another forced tutorial, you heal your new party member. Read a joke about baking biscuits, and now you have some agency. Sorta. Right until you leave through the door, which naturally has an uncanny hitbox the size of a cat. Strutting outside, squirrel attacks. Common as that may be in London, it's a unique choice, but you see, it has a hat. And now it's time for more forced tutorials. Hooray! Learn as you go, explore at your own pace. Take any lesson from everything from Dragon Quest to Earthbound? No, clearly it's time for an agonizingly slow explanation of every aspect of combat currently available to you. And no, there's no stopping early, no skipping it, no saying, got it. You have to do it as the squirrel says. Or else. Snorlax along the path, the squirrel says it can do better. Many menus later, and many quirky distortion effects later, I understand that at this point in time, VHS tapes are becoming retro, but a distorted VHS effect does not a clever concept make. You need a bit more than that. And you can actually try playing the game. At this point, my voice is breaking even more than it was before. I should probably be resting, but I want to say something at all about this game, about cricket. If you want to check it out and form your own opinions, you can do so via the link below. I may still try it again. Maybe a stream, a slow day. But for now, I'll see you next time. For hopefully more upbeat video with a more upbeat voice. For now though, goodbye, and have a great day, okay?